Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Cerise here, and for today's video, you guys have been asking for it. It is the Trading Mekka Eyeshadow So review. This is the Insomniac palette, and this retails for $18 US, which I think is a pretty reasonable price for an eyeshadow palette, if it's good. If it's good, might I add, because we've still got to review the thing. So, to me, the packaging is a bit kind of plasticky looking. This is the packaging here. It did come with a slip cover, but I have done an unboxing of this, so I have thrown that away, and that's the back there. So the actual packaging, if you don't have the box, doesn't have the ingredients on it, which I mean some people would find a bit disheartening. It's just my rats fighting in the background, but again, I never read the ingredients, so I don't need them, so I'm not too worried by it. But these are the colour palette here, so a very nice selection of nudes. There's some purples in there if you wanted to spice things up a little bit, but also not super scary colours, if you know what I mean. So the shadows are quite small, but I feel like that's probably a good thing because it means that you'll be able to use the palette fast, get through it, and actually feel like you're achieving something. I always find when I have my eyeshadow palettes that it takes me like I have so many eyeshadow palettes I brought years ago and I haven't even hit pan on. And I'm like, with this I feel like I could. So I'm kind of like excited about that low-key. So I thought what I would do is I would start swatching it. So I'll start with this orange shade. Not too bad on the pigment, as you can see there. Not too bad. So let's go with this brown shade. It's not really swatching that well, but you've got to remember that with finger swatching, it picks up your oil, so it's not as, you know, good as it would be on the eyes, or it swatches better than as it would on the eyes. These don't actually have shade names either, so I can't read out what shade is what. But yeah, it's always, you've kind of got to go with what comes out on a brush, because that one like didn't even swatch at all, as you guys can see. These shimmers though, I did swatch them in my video and they looked really cute. So you can see them there. I'll do a close-up soon. Let's see how this white is. See, the white's got some pigment to it, so that's good. Alright, let's try this shimmery purple, which I feel like I need to use just because look how like vibrant that is. And that is the entire palette swatch there. So as you can see, some of the colours swatched really well, some of them didn't. So yeah, I'm just going to dust off my hands now on my duvet. I'm just trying to rub them and see how like transferable they are. Oh yeah, so they hold the pigment pretty well, just wiping it off, so it doesn't just like come off. I'm just going to clean my arms off camera now. Alrighty, so from that swatch test, I can tell that some of the colours are quite pigmented. You know, so far I'm not really impressed with this palette. It's just kind of a bit like meh sort of thing. So yeah, I think what we've got to do is apply them on the eyes. And see, I really like these two colours here, the vibrant ones, but I feel like they're not going to go together. Yeah, so let's see. So I'll zoom you on in. I feel like that was not working. And you can see my pimples there, exposed. And I think the best option is, because it's really hard to actually kind of show what shade I'm using. I'm going to start with, I'll point actually, this nude shade here. See how this goes, because I feel like this would be a good transition colour. It is very pigmented. Look, I just literally dipped like a few times, so whoa, okay. Oh no, I hate how like small the pan is and the colours are quite similar, so I'm like, oh no, am I gonna pick the wrong one? No, I think I picked the right one. That looks the same, does it? You guys are all cringing right now. And then I want a lid shade, so I think I'm going to go in with that orange. So I've just put that orange on, and as you can see, it does have a little bit of pigment in it. I'm just going to re-go with this to kind of liven that up. And then I think underneath I'm going to go with a dark shade. So I'm going to try this one here. And go here. Now you will note that my eye is watering. That's not due to the eyeshadow. I've been having problems with it lately. Like problems with it, like, you know when your eye just gets real watery and yuck? Like, that's me, and now I look like I've got panda eyes. At least we know the makeup's good when it's wet, so that's good. Just trying to blend that so it's not so hard out, but that's okay. We're just going to have a hard out under eye on that side, so I may as well kind of even that up. Oh, it literally looks like I've been punched. Ah! Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this shimmery kind of champagne color here and put it on the center of my eye. Okay, it's a bit of fallout. And then what I'm going to do is use that shade again I used on my under eye and just use that to smoke out the edges here. That might have been too harsh of a colour, I feel, maybe. Oh! Eh! Alrighty, and that's that there. What I'm going to do now is put on some mascara and eyeliner and some lipstick, and I'll be right back. Okay, so not gonna lie, I am not a fan of this palette. To put it bluntly, I just, honestly, I don't think the shadows were super pigmented. Honestly, like, it just doesn't, it doesn't blow me away. It does not, it's not a palette that blows me away. Like, sure, I really love that shimmer shade and this orange, but unfortunately it doesn't have enough pigment for me. It is vegan and cruelty free, so, you know, they're not tested on animals, which is really good. It's a really good cause and everything like that, but unfortunately I'm not a huge fan of this palette. If I'm gonna be honest, like, I just don't, I don't enjoy it that much. I have so many other palettes that are better, but apart from that, if this was my only palette, it would be okay to make do. But I feel like, I feel really bad because Trading Mekka did send me this palette. But yeah, they didn't pay me to say it was good or anything. They just said, here's the palette, what do you think? So honestly, I don't like it. Would I ever reach for it again? Probably not. Maybe to use the white shade as like a setting powder or something like that. And maybe for the purple shade if I did want the purple shade. But for like two-ish shades, it's very basic for me, and it's basic enough that the pigments aren't enough to carry it through. So what I mean by that is that, yeah, it's a basic palette and everything like that, but the pigment isn't strong enough for me to be like, oh my god, I love this palette, I'm obsessed with this palette. I have so many pigmented palettes, and you guys know I love pigmented palettes, and unfortunately not all the shades were pigmented. The first shade was very pigmented, but if you can see the amount of fallout on there as well, just from using it that one time, this is the only time I've used this palette, apart from swatching like 2 shades, it doesn't blow me away. So unfortunately, the Trading Mekka Insomniac palette, I would not buy that. And I mean, I can't say I wouldn't recommend it to someone, because someone could enjoy that kind of thing, but I feel like it would be better for if you're very, very starting makeup and you didn't want anything hard out, you just wanted to kind of get into it, that kind of thing. Because honestly, I haven't tried it with eyeshadow primer, but without eyeshadow primer, which eyeshadows should be good to use without eyeshadow primer, it was not that great. So it's a no from me, unfortunately. So I'm really sorry, Trading Mekka, if you are watching this. Unfortunately, I did not like this palette. Yeah, yeah, it just didn't perform that great for me. The shimmer shades, if you can see there, the shimmer shade that went in the middle of my eyes didn't really pick up that well. The darker shades picked up really well, like the darker ones, but the orange wasn't as pigmented as it could have been, and all of that. But, you know, for a basic palette, yeah, I guess it is good. But for me, who loves makeup, has a lot of palettes, that kind of thing, I like to think of myself as kind of like not an experienced person, but a person that has a lot. I'm a connoisseur of eyeshadow. I just feel like it's honestly not for me. So, yeah, sorry about that, guys. If you guys were excited to see it. You guys seen how it performed, seen how it swatched, so you guys make your own opinions, but that is my opinion, and unfortunately it is not great. So, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe wherever the subscribe box is, and until next time, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!